Welcome back to day 7 of me trying to not be completely trash at talking on YouTube. So today was a very interesting day. It did not go at all as I expected, but I got to know the town a little bit better than I'm at currently, which was really nice. So basically, I woke up this morning feeling pretty good and excited to start the day, got ready, made some plans for the day, and as I started making those plans, I went out to my car and guess what? My car did not start. I turned the key, pressed it, and nothing. Just a slight little buzz. So I sat out there for a little while trying to get it fixed, and I didn't have the parts or the tools to do it. So I just poked around under the hood a little bit aimlessly. I had an idea what was wrong, but I had no way to fix it. This was a problem that was happening with my car for a little while, so it wasn't necessarily new. It finally kicked the bucket. So I am currently on vacation away from home with a car that's not necessarily running completely smoothly at the moment, and I didn't really know anybody in the area to get it fixed. So I basically called around. I got in contact with my insurance and tried to see if they could help me with roadside assistance, and they're supposed to help me as long as the mechanic that I'm bringing my car to is within 10 miles. In this particular case, it was not within 10 miles. It actually, no, I think it was. It was within 10 miles. I think it was 9 miles away. I put in the call. I got a call back from my insurance like an hour later, and they told me it was going to be somewhere in the high 200s to have my car towed less than 10 miles, even though it was supposed to be free. I don't really. At the time, I was at first a little caught off guard because I thought it was supposed to be just covered through my insurance, but it wasn't. So I actually basically told them they can hit the road. I'm not paying more than $250 to have my car towed less than 10 miles. So I picked up the phone, I started calling people in the surrounding area, and I finally found a tow truck that would pick me up for $60 and take my car into the town. It was a pretty easy trip into the town. Honestly, the guy who towed us was super nice. He was very conversational. He was talking about how long he had lived here. He basically received the business from his dad. He was super helpful, helped us load our car up, and even went as far as to tell us that the mechanic that I ended up picking out and making an appointment with was a good mechanic and should do a really great job. I finally got the car over. We got to the mechanic and dropped the car off, and when I was having problems with the car, I have a car that's specifically known for having starter issues, and I brought my car into the mechanic and I told them that the car wasn't really starting, and they started taking a look at it and they confirmed pretty immediately that the starter was the problem. The AutoZone that they got the parts from was less than a half mile away. Someone literally that worked at the AutoZone in this small town took the parts and walked it over to the mechanic that my car was sitting at. Literally walked it over. I've never seen someone from AutoZone deliver anything by foot. It was surreal. But they came around the corner with the part and they attached the starter. It didn't take them very long. It's not a very difficult fix. And they tried to start the car. It doesn't start again. So now we had a little bit of a problem. They had to start figuring out what more could be going on. They pick up the phone and call AutoZone again and ask for a different part that's supposed to aid in the ignition of starting the car when you turn the key and actually makes the connection between the key being turned and the engine starting. There's the starter, and then there's a different piece that basically tells the starter, hey, we're starting now, and then the starter actually starts the car. So I got a new starter put in. Then the ignition piece they ordered from Amazon, and again, maybe 20 minutes later, Someone from the local AutoZone starts walking over, completely different person this time, brings a piece from AutoZone, and they start hooking it up. They start taking the key out, they start trying to fix it. And at this point, there were some people who came by. I knew some people in the area. They came by to see me, and we were chatting, and eventually they said it's going to take us a little bit, so we went and got some pastries. The pastries were honestly really good. For some reason, this place had Polish pastries, and they made burritos. It's a really interesting mix, but pretty good food otherwise. I got tiramisu, which isn't a Polish pastry, but it was good. After I ate the food, we ended up getting all our stuff together. We parted ways with our friends and made it back to the mechanic. It was starting to get late. We'd basically spent all day trying to get this fixed at this point. And they were trying to start my car again after adding this new ignition piece, and they go to turn the key, and there's a little whirring, but otherwise better than before, but nothing. So my car is not starting. They are wanting to do a diagnostic, but it's getting late. They don't really know what to do at the moment because they can't really fix my car. And the interesting thing is the starter's working. If you were to add electricity straight to the engine, it starts right up, and then the car runs completely fine. So he basically told me that I'm going to have to bring it back tomorrow. They're going to look at the electrical systems and try to figure out and test it and see where the electricity is being lost and not connecting to the starter. So I have to bring it back in the morning, but otherwise the car was starting, just not from the key. Apparently the key over time, the end had gotten ground to a point, and that point caused some damage to a spring and basically broke the front of the steering wheel, and that caused the starter to break. It's really interesting how one little pebble, kind of like that whole story of the princess and the pea. The princess was sleeping on a bed with a pea under it and hurt her back, and eventually like a small issue created a much larger one. It's really interesting how such a small issue can cause such a big problem in your car, or really anything in life. But after putting our heads together, I was planning on calling a taxi, but after putting our heads together not too long after, me and the mechanic both found out that we can get the car to start, just not necessarily with the key. We just have to hotwire my car. So basically both me and the mechanic found this out, and now I have been hotwiring my car to drive it around, which is really funny to be going out to my own car and literally hotwiring it anytime I want to drive it. So in the morning, I will be waking up and hotwiring my car and driving it back to the mechanic to hopefully fix it the rest of the way tomorrow. I think we're mostly done as far as the repairs. I think just a spring, a little electrical test needs to be made, but other than that, I think we're doing pretty okay. But I thought it was a pretty interesting day. Definitely not the most fun day I've had, but it was interesting, and a few of the issues that needed to get fixed were fixed. Honestly, and all things considered, I'm glad that this happened while I'm on vacation where I'm at, because where I normally live, the prices to get these kind of things probably would have been doubled. I don't know if it would exactly been that high, but just based off of prices that I've seen in the area for different things, it seems that it probably would have been doubled. So anyway, that's my crazy, interesting day. If you are watching this and you are enjoying, please consider subscribing. I'm really trying to get to 50 subscribers so I can start going live on YouTube. I think it would be a lot of fun to basically get on live, practice talking, practice my storytelling in front of live people, or even in front of nobody but being live. I think that would be a great practice. So if you're here, check out the subscribe button. Also, I have some other videos you're welcome to check out as well. A lot of them, the videos that I'm posting right now, are very similar to this, where I'm trying to catch my stride with speaking on camera, but I have some other stuff too. For example, the trip that I took to China for only 1 penny is what it cost me. So if you want to check that out, also be my guest. Thank you for hanging around, and I will see you guys tomorrow for day 8. Keep being you.